Hello, everyone. I am Dwight, and today I'm going to talk about or present on ideas to foster inclusive teaching for cybersecurity. Now, as you know, cybersecurity is an ever-changing topic and field within industry, and it involves several different disciplines, etc. The one thing that I will point out right away, the only way to foster, or the best way to foster inclusive teaching is to ensure that everyone understands that particular concept about cybersecurity. So that's it. Let me go ahead and get started. All right. So as far as planning, the one thing that you need to know when you're teaching cybersecurity, you're teaching to a group of students, and this is where the planning phase comes into play. Uh, So basically, when you look at students, there's three aspects that you have to concern yourself with: um, their culture, um, their skills, and their learning preferences. Generally, when you focus on that, and that's primarily for any topic, but for cyber, since it involves so many different aspects, you do want to pay attention to these particular aspects for students. As far as skills, there's general skills, basic skills, information technology, programming, computer science, networking. All of these are applicable to a cybersecurity teaching scenario. And these will help you to foster inclusiveness as far as the topic. Learning preferences, as you know, auditory, visual, think, pair, share, peer-to-peer, all very important, and all will involve a type or method to foster inclusive teaching. All right, then lesson delivery. Well, that's you as an instructor. You are tasked to deliver this lesson. There are several resources that you should think about. So I would definitely say do your research, pardon me. There are organizations that are focusing on cybersecurity education that you can use as a resource. The National Institute for Cybersecurity Education, or NICE, the NIST, which is the list of institutional standards used in technology and cyber, ISO certifications, etc. Um, Also, there's appropriateness, and what I mean by appropriateness and why this is very important with inclusive learning, you as an instructor need to understand what's the appropriate topic and trend of what's happening in cybersecurity. Cybersecurity, as I said before, is ever changing, and this, as long as you understand that, and you can convey that to your students, no matter what their backgrounds are, then there will be a clear understanding of what's needed in cyber. And the last are principles. Well, we have one major principle, and it's called the CIA triad: confidentiality, integrity, and availability. And these particular aspects of cyber are the basic fundamental principles. And once again, as far as lesson delivery, if you center everything around these particular aspects of cybersecurity, then you would definitely build an inclusive scenario for your students. And then lastly, let's take a look at instructional tips. Um, Cybersecurity is essentially tech-based, hands-on. So what I would recommend in your classroom, make sure you build in particular aspects like labs, virtualization, and I mentioned the term sandbox. And the term sandbox is used, you can essentially run use any of the tools in a virtual environment and not impact any network warnings, etc. And this is probably one of the biggest things as far as teaching cybersecurity to an inclusive scenario. Essentially, this is not a topic that you would want to lecture a lot. You do want to guide students through activities, and it is proven that if students are guided through these active or action-oriented learning activities, they will retain the information far better. And then finally, test their acquired knowledge. Student response systems, pop quizzes, that even helps. I mean, it helps the students to retain that information, and it does not create any segregation as far as knowledge or skills. And that was essentially a very important part of an inclusive learning environment. So those are my tips, or those are my just recommendations to foster an inclusive learning environment when teaching cybersecurity. And remember, cybersecurity is an ever-evolving topic. Generally, we focus on educating our students on their awareness of cybersecurity and awareness of cyber attacks. These are ongoing, and it's something that is very important. So thank you for listening to my short video on fostering inclusive teaching and learning as a focus on cybersecurity.